Alright, good afternoon, guys. This is Lawrence. I'm here today to discuss what is happening in Kanilai. It appears as if though what we've seen on social media that Foni, I don't know, it's not going to be everybody in Foni, but it appears as if they are very unhappy with the presence of ECOWAS or economic forces on the ground. But I don't think that is the reality. The reality is, I think some of these Yajame supporters are having it very difficult to come to reality, to come in terms with reality. I think this is where it comes down to. But let me just say this quickly. And I don't want to blame this government entirely. But what I just want to say is, there's always going to be consequences with what I would call maslaha. Maslaha and sugarcoating is what led us to this mess that we have today. This is what we've done for Jammeh for the past 22 years. This is exactly what Jawara government did for 30 years. And this is what these governments also want to do. We are a country that have laws in our country. And when we ignore those laws and think that we can go back to some kind of tradition or perhaps some kind of, I don't know, culture or whatever, we bring problems to ourselves. I'm not saying that we should not observe our culture or the tradition. But if you know what maslaha is, and I guess we use this word quite often, you would understand where I'm coming from. Just in the past few days, and it's also few months, we've heard about two things that is bothering people. One, the nonsense TRC that we all know about. I think people are not stupid. We know what TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We also heard just a few days ago OJ insinuating that we should forgive Yajame. This is coming from him. I don't know if he's talking in terms of himself forgiving Yajame individually as a person, or he's suggesting that Gambia, that's what Gambia should do. But what matters here is he is a minister. He's a cabinet minister. So what comes from OJ matters a lot. And I have great respect for OJ, just like many other ministers. But I thought that if he meant, and whatever he said is quite unfortunate. So, and the first mistake here, again, I would go to this over and over again, is that even when Barrow government had all the powers and the opportunity and all the resources within himself and within their power to make sure that they supervise the exit of Yajame, Yajame was allowed to go as he wanted. He went with weapons, he went with cash. I don't know how many times I've said this, and I said this is not good. And this is what you've seen today. What you see happening in Kanilai is coming from Yajame. Yajame has the money. And we sat here and say, oh God, how come, how dare he looted everything? You let Yajame on broad daylight, a criminal who have lived in our country for 22 years. We knew exactly what he did. We knew the extent of damage. Yet, when we have the opportunity to get him, we didn't, in the name of stability. And I understand that. But how could we have allowed Yajame to go with everything? Just go as you want. Here's the guy who has power as we speak, and the military did not stop him. Nobody stopped him. Yajame went to the airport, he chartered all these cargo planes, and took away weapons and cash with him. All you need is money to cause instability in anywhere you want. And Yajame has those resources. This is all coming from Yajame. But when we speak about this thing, they say, oh, this and that. But anyway, I don't want to go back to that. But here's what I'm going to tell Gambians. Maslaha is not going to help. We have laws. We have to implement the laws. And when we call for justice, we have to call for justice in its totality. Which means that anybody who have committed crime in that country has to face justice, regardless of who you are, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of your relation with any government officials. This government should make sure they do things right. This maslaha is not going to happen. These people in Foni, as you can see, they didn't get it. A lot of kids grew up knowing Jammeh. All they know is you can kill and get away with it. They don't still understand. There's no reason for this nonsense in Foni, because they never demonstrated when Yahya Jammeh abandoned Banjul, our capital, when Yahya Jammeh abandoned everywhere to build Kanilai with our resources, with our money. They never knew that was wrong. For them, that was okay. No, it wasn't okay. The presence of economic forces is a mandate. Just the same mandate that our forces in the Gambia go to other countries. And it is also the mandate of the Gambian people, because the reason why they are there for two strategic reasons. First of all, Yahya Jammeh took all our resources. We have great interest in Kanilai because government resources, our money has been used in millions of dollars to build Kanilai. And now that there is a court order, even well before the court order, we have interest in Kanilai to secure Kanilai. 1, 2. Yahya Jammeh was dealing with rebels. Rebels who have brought instability in the region of Casamance. He's been giving them weapons and everything. So it makes sense that we have the economic forces around Kanilai and its borders. If the economic forces didn't do that, even our Gambian soldiers, that should be an area of interest where they should secure. Because there are rebels there. There are people there who don't know anything but just to kill and cause destructions. These are the people that Yahya Jammeh was dealing with. This is why we have the economic forces around the vicinity of Foni. Foni people should get this. Those who are in this, Yahya Jammeh would never step in that country. Ever again. Never again. We will never deal with Yahya Jammeh. Anytime Jammeh steps in the Gambia, he's going to jail. If he's lucky. He's going to spend his entire time in jail. Anytime, in fact, he leaves Equatorial Guinea to anywhere, Yahya Jammeh is going to get arrested. If you don't know this, get this right. Barrow just started. He haven't even had 6 months yet. What is your problem? We cannot stand this. Oh yes. You know how much we had to put up with Yahya Jammeh for 22 years? And one of a sudden in 6 months you cannot stand Barrow? Come on. Look at you coming to demonstrate. Who is killing you anyways? But this is something that you wouldn't have dreamt of doing when Jammeh was here. Look, let people not be panicked anywhere. Do not be panicked, because, you know, as a matter of fact, all they can do is burn tires. Give them 1 day. By tomorrow, they would have even exhausted all the tires they have around them. What else are they going to burn? Going to burn their houses? There's nothing to burn. I don't think they're going to go and start shooting at soldiers, or they start fighting soldiers around there. They have to understand. Let them go to the villages and talk to these people. The worst mistake they want to do is to ever attack any of these soldiers. You attack a soldier with his weapon, he's going to kill you. Because nobody's going to allow to be beaten with your weapon and everything. That's not going to happen. We want our peace in Gambia. And for you have to understand that your house is your house. Wherever the soldiers are, that's the territory of Gambia. That doesn't belong to your father. It doesn't belong to your mother. Go back to your house. The soldiers are not occupying your house. They're occupying the streets that belongs to Gambia. Foni is part of Gambia, and the government has every right to station a camp. There was a camp around Kanilai. There were more presence of soldiers in Kanilai that we have today. And it wasn't a designated camp, military camp by the government. No. Just because Yahya Jammeh was there. Why are you having problems having soldiers around there? But soldiers were there before. There were soldiers in Kanilai. They were stationed in Kanilai. There were so many activities, military activities in Kanilai than you have ever imagined in the last 22 years. No, you didn't have a problem with that. Why are you having a problem with that today? Oh, these people are crazy. They are crazy. These people in the streets are crazy, and this is why this government should stop confusing people. Let's go ahead. There's nothing like this nonsense TRC. Let's take the law as it is and show Gambians that this country is a land of law. Whoever commit crime, no matter how long it takes, you will be brought to justice, and the law will be followed to the letter. It's that simple. All this maslaha is what's bringing this confusion. Yes, Foni and these folks in Foni should wake up. Yeah, Jammeh, and it's time to think about banning APRC. APRC is one evil party that should not be allowed to exist. And we've said this many times here. We have every reason to say this party has to be banned because it is illegitimate to begin with. Yeah, Jammeh is a criminal who came to our country using guns. And he walked all the way to the State House. So that is illegitimate. That's how he come to be, by illegitimate means. And now people in Foni have the nerves, yeah, to do what? Demonstrate we're sick and tired of this government. When we've pulled up with this government, with Yahya Jammeh for 22 years in his brutality and stealing of stuff and everything, and you didn't know that he was building Kanila with our money? That didn't bother you? He was killing people from Foni, Haruna Jammeh, and his sister, I don't know what, I forgot his name, what his name is, but countless of people from Foni. When he killed them and locked them, you did not get up to demonstrate. You are here when nothing happened. Barrow is here to stay. Barrow is the choice of the Gambian people. Take it, leave it. Yahya Jammeh is never ever gonna come back to that country. Never. Don't even think about it. It's not gonna happen. Maslaha. Maslaha is the cause of all this. It's like, they have to do this. And the next thing is people gonna think, okay, look, if we truly go with this justice, trying to say that anybody who committed a crime, this and that, we're gonna tear this country into pieces, and people resolve with maslaha and saying stupid truth and reconciliation. Justice is what has to be implemented in its fullest. No play. Well, thanks for listening, and I'm saying to people in Foni, wake up. Yahya Jammeh is gone. He is never ever gonna step his dirty foot in that country. No, that's not gonna happen. And Barrow is there to stay. 3 years, 5 years, whatever Gambians allow, Barrow would stay, and nothing is gonna stop that. Leave, go wherever you wanna go. If you wanna go to Casamance, go. But this country is for Gambians. If you think you are a Gambian, you got to stay. Just the same way people stayed for 22 years in that country, that's the same way you're going to stay for any president who comes to that country. It's that simple. This is all nothing but absolute nonsense, and nobody is behind all this because of the mixed language that is coming from government. We got to go in for the truth. All this nonsense and trying to sugarcoat is the problem that's what's causing all this confusion. Sugarcoating, stop it. Let justice prevail. Period. Anyway, thanks.